Hi, everyone. Today, let's talk about economic reports. Then we'll go over the charts. And then we'll go over my results for the day and positions going into Tuesday. If you like trading stocks and options and making money, definitely like and subscribe. I make videos like this every single day, so make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Welcome to the Portfolio Bulletin. Let's get started. Starting off with PCE data, you can see we got 0.1% for overall. Core PCE was 0.2%. Both of those are down from 0.4 and 0.3 respectively. Year over year, it was down to 5.5% from 6.1. And then year over year, core was 4.7 when the expectation was 4.6. So slightly higher than expectations, but still down from the 5%, which is all good. It seems like inflation is starting to move down pretty consistently, no surprises, and hopefully that continues into the future. It's also worth noting that durable goods orders were down quite a bit, about 1% more than expectations, which goes in line with the idea that the economy is weakening. We knew that was happening. People are moving away from buying goods, which is why we're seeing inflation in services. It's also worth noting here that new home sales was significantly higher than expectations at 640,000 versus the 600,000 expected. Moving over to the charts, starting with the S&Ps, really choppy session, threw a lot of pins to the upside, but we ended up breaking through that here at the end of the session, right up to that resistance. Seems like we're kind of caught in this wedge at this point. Support held, did not retest that low at this point, so some buyers came in early in the session, came up to that resistance at the end of day, and my guess is that we're going to gap through this on Tuesday. If I had to pick a direction, this really did not give us a lot of context for Tuesday. Basically a sideways day with some slight bullish price action. Like I said, if I had to guess, I would say we're going to come up and retest this level. Maybe that's the 144, sitting right at 389.50. But of course, we're still on a downtrend, well below the 144. But we have stepped on all the other EMAs here in the last couple days. Moving over to the NASDAQ on the 5-minute. Similarly, we had a bottom yesterday, slightly higher low here today. Buyers came in at 263.80. Couldn't quite get above the pre-market highs or the high of day, which was 268. Jumping over to the 4-hour chart, you can see it's still a very solid downtrend. We are below all of the EMAs, and they are all in order. But you can also see that we're pretty extended below the 144. And at this point, you still have to expect that you're going to get some kind of retest, even if we didn't get it on that initial push like we thought. It seems like there has to be some kind of retest, maybe even just a double top here at the previous high, still at 274. But this still just seems extended. We're really close to oversold conditions already. And we could certainly push through that to the downside a little bit, but I don't think we're going to get the move down like I'm expecting if we don't get at least a retrace to some degree. Moving over to the Dow, similar price action on the hourly chart. You can see we had the low and a higher low, which was actually in line with the Monday low. So we have Monday, the Thursday low, and then a higher low here. Still expecting the retest of the 144. Definitely much more in reach here on the Dow. Currently, that's only sitting at 334.50 or so, and I would expect this to go a little bit higher. Looking at consumer staples here, you can see a solid double bottom in, and it looks like we're retesting maybe slightly through this previous resistance. And similarly to the Dow, very in reach to retest that 144. We had all the EMAs in line for just a moment. You have to expect we're going to come up, retest that, and then we get the sell-off to 72 like we've been talking about. If you look at the RSI here, you can see some pretty clear divergence on the hourly chart. You have that low here on Monday, almost oversold conditions, same price action here on Thursday, higher RSI reading, giving you the indicator that we're going to get that bullish move. And that is what we ended up getting here today. Moving over here to XOP, really strong here today, surprisingly so. Did get through that previous day's high after we made that lower low. So this seems to be widening out in terms of range. So we have a lower low and a higher high. It's definitely a little concerning. Could certainly be that last dip before the move higher. If we do get above the 144 here on Tuesday, that could be an indicator that we are going. Remember, my expectation is that we were going to come back into this 145, 146 zone before we did get the continuation to the downside. Moving over to TLT, gap down and fell throughout the session, weak rebound into the end of day. All the EMAs are in line now. But looking at the 4-hour chart, it really has to happen on Tuesday. If we're going to hold this 144 EMA, really has to happen now. If we do get below the 144 EMA on the 4-hour chart, jumping over to the daily chart, you have to assume that the daily chart is going to be taking over. And this is kind of a similar test to what I'm thinking is going to happen on stocks. We're going to come up to that 144 EMA, and then you're going to get the sell-off which is exactly what happened here on TLT. And in terms of downward movement here, you have to expect you're going to get a retest of the 55 EMA at this point, which is currently at $100.65, which is about $1.50 below where we are right now. So a little bit more downward movement. And then we could get that up from there. Of course, this is moving a little bit lower, a little bit faster than I thought that it was going to. You can see momentum here on the daily chart is very weak. So TLT is showing some weakness here, which could be giving stocks just a little bit of momentum. Moving over to the VIX, not a lot to say here. A slow fade throughout the session. Did come up and retest the 144 EMA on the hourly, then faded from there, creating some lower lows throughout the day. Still probably looking to get a retest of the Wednesday-Thursday level at 2015, maybe 20 flat. And then we'll see what happens from there. If stocks do rally a little bit on Tuesday, then we can see that into that retest zone. And then I would expect it to spike up from there, depending on how far we get on that small rally I expect early next week. Moving over to my positions, I really couldn't get it done today. I was down a little bit more than $100. No, it shows $91, but I think my actual value is down a little bit more than that. I was day trading throughout the session, couple of options, but I just really couldn't get my feet under me. And the NASDAQ was really jumping around quite a lot. In terms of positions for Monday, you can see I have 2 covered calls here at 268. I do think we're going to get a little bit of a rally on Tuesday, and there's certainly potential I take these off early before expiration unless we do see a strong push on Tuesday, then I might leave them on a little bit longer. Let me know down in the comments section if you think we're going to get a Santa Claus rally. Definitely like and subscribe if you got any value out of this video. Make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on any future episodes. Of course, none of this is financial advice. This is all for entertainment purposes. Good luck in your trading. Merry Christmas and have a great day.